Ned Swain loves wine, wants to share his enthusiasm for it, but doesn't want people to be intimidated by wine. He owns Devonish Wine. It's a distributor to restaurants and stores here in Maine.
He calls himself the Wine Geek, and if you watch any of the videos of you, Ned, you can understand why. And I love that in some of those videos, you're just like taking a swig right out of the bottle. You're not the normal wine guy.
Right, taking a swig right out of the bottle right after coming in the door from going running.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. So what is your motto here?
Well, my kind of catchphrase is wines that taste like dirt. Devonish wines taste like dirt, which by that I mean wines that taste like where they come from, that have a sense of place, you know, that aren't just like the Coca-Cola of the wine world.
So what you're looking for are the wineries that tend to be small, that are family owned, that aren't on the radar. You want to go to the places where people are really passionate about it and it hasn't gone all corporate.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Places where it's small families guided by their passions, where they aren't uptight or anything, just, you know, really legitimate little farms.
Because of your interests, you've traveled to France, you've traveled to Italy, and so forth. Now, what you do, one of your other interests, one of your personal passions is running. Let's talk about, there's a little story about this bottle of wine and this bottle of wine that involves transportation. What is that story? Yeah,
so I went to Italy last autumn, and I stayed with this winemaker. He previously, I had done this 50-something kilometer run across Umbria to his winery, and he actually didn't even realize I'd run there. Everybody else on the trip was there in the cellar tasting wine, and I just came in like 15 minutes after they'd been there, and he thought I had just kind of arrived late. He didn't realize that I had run 50-something kilometers and just gotten there and come in.
The sweat didn't get away.
Started tasting wine anyway. So when he realized, he was like, "Oh, questo è qualcosa di pazzesco. You are like me. You are crazy. You must come back, and we will go for runs together." So so I went back to visit him, and he decided that we would run from his winery to this winery, Tiberi, and I was like, "Sure, great."
Which is how far a distance?
16 kilometers.
So 10, 11 miles?
Well, right, yeah, 16 kilometers if we took the normal way to get there. But it was as we were leaving, he didn't know, he hadn't actually thought about it beforehand. He was looking at Google Maps and said, "Oh wait, it's only 16 kilometers. That's not far enough for us. We need adventure." And I said, "Fine, Danilo, let's just not go crazy though. I just ran 30-something miles yesterday, so 26 miles. So 26 miles was what it turned into.
This is nuts. Who goes to Europe, travels around to wineries, samples all samples all the wines, and then does long distance running as well?
Well, the real reason is that these wines taste like where they come from. You know, if they taste like the air, the soil, the plants, everything like that, I really want to know what it smells like in Montepetruolo, the little tiny town this comes from.
And this is just like a tiny family that's making
this. They have like 5 acres. They had never even made, this is the 3rd vintage that they've made wine.
That's an unusual kind of taste. It doesn't taste like dirt, but it doesn't taste like the normal sort of super smooth wine.
Yeah, so you know, you may notice the color of this. It is not clear like normal wines. This is what in the wine world is called a pétnat, a pétillant naturel. So this is grapes that were harvested, and the family, the Tiberis, let them start fermenting naturally, just with the yeast on the skins of the grapes. And then partway through the fermentation, they just put it in bottles.
How much does that cost?
And put a little cap on it. That's about $20 a bottle.
And you can get these in Maine.
And how about this one?
Yeah. That's a little bit under $20. That's like $18.
And so you were telling us a story of how this farmer is actually helping this family.
Yeah. So this guy Danilo just became very passionate about making wine. He's from Central Umbria, and he became very passionate about trying to hold on to the traditional winemaking techniques of Central Umbria. So he taught himself. He sought out a lot of really old farmers. I'll pass this over. And
here, I'll let you pour, Rob.
This family actually contacted him and said, "Hey, we don't have a lot of land. We can't make ends meet just selling the grapes to other people to make wine. We want to make wine ourselves, but we don't know how." And so he's helping teach them how to make wine without modern technology.
We started out by saying you don't want people to be intimidated by wine. You don't want to make it something snooty. You don't want to make it something for only people who've got a lot of money. How do you remove that intimidation so that people who haven't been comfortable with wine are comfortable?
I try to kind of put it in terms that, you know, people that aren't really into wine can identify with. I actually use a lot of car analogies. I'll compare wine, you know, I can compare a given wine to like a new Honda Accord V6 Coupe or something. That it's, you know, this is a great, fun car, but it's not that expensive and stuff like that. But I try to just put it in perspective that a lot of these wines are, I think, very special. They're made with a lot of passion, with a lot of skill, but they're not that expensive. And the people that make them really just want them to be enjoyed. They're not wines to, you know, get uptight about and feel like you have to have the right special occasion and all of this.
All right, we've had so much fun talking about your stories that we didn't get a chance to even get to all the wines, but we'll have all of these wines listed on our website and more information as well about Devonish wines. Thanks for coming in. Great to have you here, Ned.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Stay with us. We're back with more of 207 in just a moment.